This is a visualization and embodiment practice. Take a deep breath in and out. Let yourself fully arrive in this moment. These practices help me to rewire my anxious attachment and retrain my mind to create a security from within. I'm Jula, the Anxious and Secure Coach, and let's begin. Disclaimer: please make sure you're in a safe space, not driving or doing anything that requires your full attention. I'm not a doctor, and this practice is not a replacement for therapy. I can't guarantee any results, but it's a gentle way to reconnect with yourself and explore new ways of being. This is for entertainment purposes only. Now find a comfortable spot. Sit firmly, close your eyes or lie down. And you know you can pause any time to journal notes or ideas that come up as you explore these new identity shifts. It's all about remembering the secure, steady you, the version that's already been there before anxiety, fear or doubt or insecurity has ever shown up for you. Over time, more and more. Over time, many of us lose touch with that version of ourselves that we truly are. Maybe as kids we were being told to be quiet, don't take up too much space. Or we grew up believing we weren't good enough in some way, even though it's not true. For me, it always felt safer to be more like them, to fit in, to shape myself into what I thought others would want it of me, so I wouldn't risk rejection or abandonment. That became a new way of surviving and feeling loved. But here's the truth: you are not an anxious or insecure person anymore. You were never that person, in fact, at your core. It's just a protective part of you, one that got louder during certain phases of your life. And today, we're giving space to your other parts as well. The ones that are steady, maybe calm, loving, confident, secure. The parts that don't need chasing. The parts that don't need other people's validation. Parts that trust yourself. Because when those parts have room, you stop living from fear and start living from love. You stop being pulled towards unhealthy dynamics and instead attract the kind of love that feels safe and steady and mutual. Today we'll gently explore a few identity shifts, choosing how you want to show up instead, and then anchoring that version of you through simple movements to link them to these identity shifts. And then you can envision yourself living it out in real situations. This practice will help you retrain both your mind and body at the same time, so you can step into the version of you little more each day. With every time you rehearse this version of yourself, this new shift in your relationships and in your life. In the end, you will have chosen 3 identity shifts that you want to step into more and more. Before we dive into these shifts, I want you to start brainstorming for yourself. Think about the parts of you that no longer serve you, the habits, patterns, or identities you're ready to release right now. And then imagine who do you actually want to be instead. As I guide you through some examples, notice which ones resonate with you. If something feels like you can pause, try on that shift, even note it down, and feel it in your body. At the end, we'll choose 3 shifts to focus on. So let these be an inspiration. You can always create your own shifts that feel true to your identity. So let's begin. Let's start to envision the first shift, moving from anxious to calm. When you feel anxious, you might notice your chest tightening, your shoulders creeping up, your breath is getting shallow. Now let's shift that. Take a deep breath in. Let your chest expand. And as you exhale, let your shoulders melt down all the way. Unclench your jaw. You can even raise your arms as you breathe in and lower them as you breathe out. This movement will anchor your new shift with your thoughts and with your new shift. This is the feeling of calm. And you can link even a thought and slogan with this new shift. I respond, I don't react. Now think of someone you admire who embodies this new calm shift to strengthen this new identity. Picture them in your mind and maybe even imagine a metaphor like a calm lake with no ripples, or imagine a very strong sea, huge waves, and suddenly everything calms down. Alright, let's do this with a few more shifts, and then you can choose 3 at the end that resonates the most with you. The next shift, from overthinking to being present. When you're overthinking, you might find yourself having your jaw very clenched, your eyes are darting around, and your mind is racing like a million thoughts an hour. You're going to the past, to the future, and the world can feel a bit grey and distant because you're not in the moment. You're just, never being here. You're missing out on moments, on connections, on what's happening. Now let's shift this. Press your feet firmly into the ground. Place a hand onto your chest and notice your breath. Notice your chest expanding. Notice the details around you, the colors, the sensations. Maybe you can hear some sounds from birds. You can feel the wind on your skin. Maybe you can feel the sun on your skin. Say out loud, here and now. I am here and now. Think of someone you know who's already in this moment and picture them in your mind. Maybe imagine a metaphor like a camera coming into focus, bringing everything into sharper or clarity right now. Focus on one thing that sparks you, a little bit joy, or it makes you feel calm right now. Maybe you see a dog's tail wiggle. Maybe you see some birds flying around. Maybe you can just touch a cup of tea that gives you warmth, or you can tuck yourself into a warm blanket right now. These are all moments that are happening here and now. You don't want to miss them. Let's keep this going with a new shift from insecure to feeling confident. When you feel insecure, you might find yourself shrinking, shoulders caving in, and the inner voice whispering, am I enough? Are you ready to shift this now? Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest and hold your chin a little higher. Take a steady breath in. Imagine yourself walking in as a hero of your own story. Your slogan is, I trust myself. I can do this. Think of someone who shows up in this kind of way, confident. Picture them. Maybe think of a metaphor like a mountain standing tall and steady. We'll continue with the rest of the shifts, and then you'll have a full set of tools to embody these new shifts, and you can choose which ones of the parts you want to let go of and which parts you want to move into. Now let's explore the shift from overgiving to setting boundaries. If you like more inspiration to step into your authentic self. So when you're overgiving, you might lean forward, speak softly, and feel drained even before you say yes. Are you ready to shift this? So stand tall, place a hand on your heart and on your hips. Open your chest and feel that energy stay inside of you, strong and whole. Lean a little bit back, say, my energy matters. Think of someone who's great at setting boundaries and putting themselves first, out of self-love and self-respect. Because if you don't put yourself first, You can't take care of anyone else around you either. Picture them in your mind. You can even imagine a strong castle with protective walls. There's no rain coming through, no strong winds. You're protective in winter, but also in summer. You feel safe, loved, and you can invite everyone into your castle when you feel the need to, when you're excited for it, when you're full of love and energy again, which makes your connection even stronger. Shift 5. Let's shift from feeling lonely to feeling connected. When loneliness creeps up, notice how your body shows up in that moment. Maybe you feel very heavy, look down, you want to hide. Maybe your thought is, I'm on my own, I don't have anyone. Are you ready to shift this today? Open your chest, stretch your arms wide, and take a deep breath in and out again. Imagine invisible threads connecting you to others and life itself. Say, I belong. I'm connected to myself, the world, and others. Think of someone who makes you feel connected and picture them. Every time you feel lonely, remember the thread that is connecting you to the world, to nature, to other humans, even when there's no one visibly around. And shift your body language and repeat the thoughts and statements. I belong. Maybe I feel lonely right now, but I am connected. I am loved. And finally, let's shift from doubt to worthiness. When you're in doubt, you might find your gaze dropping again, shoulders slumping, and that voice saying, maybe I don't deserve this at all. Let's shift this as well. Stand tall, palms open, breath deep, and imagine yourself as a strong oak tree. Your worth is unquestionable. Say, I am enough, or I am worthy. Think of someone who radiates worthiness and picture them. Someone who doesn't chase, someone who isn't rocked by someone else's critique, who doesn't need to define their actions by someone else's action, who looks at themselves first. Maybe use a metaphor like a star shining brightly in the sky. Even on cloudy days, it's still there, it's still shining behind this cloudy sky. Now let's move into the next phase. Are you ready to make a decision? This decision can change, but right now, what feels most true to you? Which direction do you feel most pulled into? Now that we have explored these shifts, it's time to pick your top 3 shifts, your identity shifts. It doesn't have to be any from the ones we've talked about. It can be anything that feels right to you. To help you decide, ask yourself, which parts of me do I feel ready to release or shift today, even if I'm scared, even if I'm not sure if I can do this? Which version of myself would I like to show up more often? Someone I admire, feel proud of, or truly connected to? When I imagine myself fully stepping into this shift, how does my body then feel? What movement can I link to? How would I show up in my body before? And how can I swap this? How can I flip it to feel empowered, to step more into my real authentic self? What movement can I link to this shift? How does my energy change? So write your 3 chosen shifts into your journal to really fully make a decision and go for it. Remember, your conscious mind can only hold a few things at once, so focus on these 3 for now only. Then link each shift to a role model as well to really make it stronger, to envision your shifts with more empowering emotions behind this. Who embodies these shifts? You can use one person for all 3 or a different role model for each. You can also link these shifts to a metaphor that reminds you of these feelings and this energy shift to make this more real, more powerful. And then remember to anchor a movement, a gesture towards the shift, to really embody this version, not just to do thought work, but to really link one shift to one movement. So every time when you want to think about this new version of yourself, to take either a deep breath, to stretch your body, to do a power pose, to put a hand on your heart, to link a powerful movement towards the shift. So now, are you ready for the next phase? Now let's put these shifts into practice with some common triggers. Think about a typical trigger that you face day to day. For example, maybe you feel anxious when someone doesn't respond to your message right away, or when a partner cancels a plan, or when you feel emotionally distant from someone close to you. Now remember your 3 identity shifts. For example, from anxious to calm, from overthinking to being present, from insecure to confident. As you think about that trigger, notice how you would have reacted before when you were anxious or overthinking or insecure, how your mind would be spinning, how your body would be. Maybe you felt tightness in your chest, a wave of doubt. Now instead, bring your mind to a new response. For the anxious to calm shift, maybe place a hand on your heart again. Take a deep breath in. Let your shoulders drop. Or for the overthinking to being present shift, again ground your feet and focus on the present moment. For the insecure to confident shift, stand tall and lift up your chin. Visualize how you would handle the same trigger now with these new shifts in place. Feel the difference in your body and in your mind. By practicing this regularly and rehearsing, becoming this version and remembering who you used to be, who you actually are at your core, these shifts will become second nature more and more, and you will feel more grounded, in control, and secure in these moments, and less triggered. And as you practice, start with one shift at a time to keep it simple and manageable. You can journal this as well to practice how you would think and feel and react during these triggers, and how your new way to responding would be, because this will be completely new for you. Once you feel comfortable with that first shift, you can then layer the second and third shift on top of that. This way it's a gradual process and it feels more natural. But take a deep breath in and out. Feel your body, your breath, and the space around you. You've just explored shifts to help you step into the secure, steady you, the version that's already been inside, waiting beneath anxiety, doubt, or overthinking. Remember, these shifts are not about becoming someone new. They are about remembering who you already are. Your calm, confident, grounded, loved, whole, connected, worthy self. It's always been there all along. And here's a simple 3-step process to remember, practicing and embodying these shifts. Step 1, choose the shift you want to embody. Ideally focus on no more than 3 shifts at a time. Step 2, link a movement or body-mind practice to each shift. Something simple you can do daily, like lifting your chest, or placing a hand on your heart, or grounding your feet, or doing a superhero pose. Let your body anchor that feeling. Step 3, Visualize yourself doing each shift every day. And imagine handling an old trigger, walking through your day, showing up in the world as this version of you. Every time you practice, even 1%, you become more that version. You remember that version again, right now, without waiting. As you move throughout the day or night, notice small opportunities to step into these shifts. When tension comes up in your body, pause, breathe, and recall your shift. At least one shift, like who you used to be and who you are now. Now you're calm, now you're confident, now you're empowered, now you're present. Think about your 3 words. When your mind drifts, ground yourself and focus on the present moment. When doubt or insecurity shows up, lift your chest, stand tall, feel your confident self. Anchor each shift with these. Choose a movement, even add a metaphor or role model on top of that. Over time, your body and mind will naturally respond in alignment with these shifts. This is how you rewire your anxious attachment and become naturally the secure, attached version that you've been already underneath all of this. Take one last deep breath in and out. Feel your body and energy settle into these new patterns. You are grounded. You are worthy. You are enough. Carry this version of yourself into your day, into your night. Step into the secure, steady version of you, even if it's just 1% more right now. Thank you. You got this.